Does a rising tide really lift all boats? Well, rising tides can do a lot of things.
At AT&T, we can't guarantee avoiding spoilers.
Woo! You did it! Half-court shot for the win! Oh, let's go!
But we can guarantee the fast, friendly service you deserve, or we'll make it right.
You're about to go viral, but it's not so bad, even if you'll forever be known as the #dad. Just remember to take life one spoonful at a time and go. Go to your snippy place.
Wendy's has a fresh JBC or double stack in the app for only $1. In fact, they're so fresh, this JBC is still getting made. There she is. Show off. For the freshest deals on what you love, gotta be Wendy's.
Good morning. I'm Dave Matter, and it is with great honor that I serve as MC for what is truly an incredible day for Mizzou athletics, and of course, Mizzou women's basketball. As you all know, 2 weeks ago, the University of Missouri officially announced Kellie Harper as the 5th head coach in Mizzou women's basketball history. Today, you will hear from our university leaders about this process, and we'll get to meet Kellie and learn more about her vision for Mizzou women's basketball program. First, we'd like to recognize a number of special guests who have joined us to celebrate this great day. Representing the University of Missouri Board of Curators, Vice Chair Michael Williams. University of Missouri President Moon Choi and University Administration. We have members of the Mizzou Athletics Senior Leadership Team and the Women's Basketball Search Committee here today. Coach Harper's coaching staff. We have members of the Mizzou Women's Basketball Program here in the front row. We have several members of the, here you go. We have several members of the Tiger Impact Group here today, and several of our Mizzou head coaches. Now we have the proud leaders of our institution here to share a few words about our program's future. Please help me welcome our first speaker, the leader of our campus and university system, University of Missouri President Dr. Moon Choi.
Thank you very much, Dave, and it is such an honor for me to be here, and I want to thank our coaches for being here as well. This is a very collaborative group, very supportive group, and we thank you for your support of our new coach, Kellie Harper. But before we begin, are there any women's basketball players here from Mizzou? Please stand. Today is a day for Coach Harper, but it's also a very important day for you and the other players. And I am so proud to welcome Coach Kellie Harper as our 5th coach in the history of women's basketball at Missouri. So thank you. And I want to welcome you and your entire family to be Tiger family first and foremost. So thank you very much. Now, this would not have happened without the leadership of Lair Veach, our curators, led by Michael Williams, Jeff Lehman, as well as the head, the chair of the IAC, curator Bob Blitz. Their hard work resulted in us hiring a truly outstanding leader, a leader who has SEC experience, a leader who won as a player 3 national championships. Doesn't a banner here sound really good? And that's not a wish, it's an expectation. And please know that we have very high expectations. And Coach Harper, the reason that there are so many people here today is that they believe in women's basketball at Mizzou. They want us to compete at the highest level, and through thick and thin, they've stood with us. So I want to thank all of you the incredible supporters of Mizzou athletics and women's basketball for being here, for showing us your support. So thank you for that. So, in closing, Coach Harper, we can't wait to see your style of basketball, and I'm gonna be here for your first practice. And as many practices as possible, and we're gonna see many victories at Mizzou Arena. With that, it's my great pleasure to introduce the member of our Board of Curators, Michael Williams.
Well, I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to welcome Coach Harper. I'm here to represent the Board of Curators. And as I just told Moon, since he stole my entire speech, I'm just going to thank all the coaches. Can you please stand up, all the other coaches that are here to support Coach Harper? I think that's important because what we're welcoming you to is the Mizzou family. I know you have SEC experience, I know you have experience at other places, but now you're part of this family. And in this family, we take care of each other, we support each other, and all of these people will be here to cheer you on at Mizzou Arena. So we want to thank you for being here. I'm going to cut this short and just introduce our athletic director, Laird Veach.
Thank you, Michael. Really appreciate Curator Williams, as well as Jeff Lehman and the chair of our athletics committee, Bob Blitz, for their participation in the process. They were incredibly supportive and just really appreciate your time. I also want to take a minute to thank Sophie Cunningham. While she's not here, we sure tried. We tried to work with her schedule to get her here to join us, but she was really central throughout this process and a great advisor to me through it. And I just really appreciated Sophie. I've really enjoyed getting to know her as we've gone through this search. I also want to take a minute to recognize a few key staff members. Marcy Girton, where's Marcy? She's back in the back, way back in the back. Marcy Girton. Marcy's our Deputy Athletic Director, Senior Women's Administrator. She was really the one that led this search, and I have been so fortunate to have Marcy here with me in so many ways. Tammy Chivas, where's Tammy? All right, Tammy back in the back here. Tammy serves as our women's basketball administrator. She's done a tremendous job really shepherding all of our players, staff throughout this process. She's been really central. Tammy, I appreciate all you do. And also a rising star in our development office, Alyssa Blair. Where's Alyssa? Alyssa has been right here throughout this entire process, taking care of so many details. She's a former women's basketball player herself, and really appreciate Alyssa and all she does for us. You know, this was an incredibly smooth, very high-quality search throughout the entire process. You know, I'd love to take credit for all of that. Really, if there's credit, it goes to Marcy. The reality of it is, it just went really well. We had an incredibly deep pool. It went really fast and smooth. We were aligned with leadership from the very beginning, and just I was really, really pleased with the process from beginning to end. You know, this was really about, for us, seizing a moment. We had an opportunity with what's going on in this country with women's basketball to really seize the moment and take advantage of the attendance growth, the viewership growth, all the excitement around women's basketball. So it was really the right time for us to make a very strategic but responsible investment in this program. In the end, however, we were just very fortunate to have a candidate of this caliber not only available, but someone who really wants this job, and she was a fit from the very beginning. I think you'll find that as we move forward. And it's been reinforced to me since. The number of outreach I have received from people across this industry about how good of hire we made, I think we were really confident when we made it. We've become even more confident since. Coach Harper, as it was mentioned, is a proven leader. She understands what it takes to win. She knows the standards and expectations that are required to truly build a championship level program. And she's demonstrated a true will to win, not only as a coach, but as a student athlete at the highest level in the SEC. Her familiarity with Missouri was also a real big plus. Her time and experience in the state gives her strong recruiting ties, network, connections throughout the state, throughout the region, and she made it clear in the process that she knows she can win at the highest level, starting with players in this region. She has an incredible passion for coaching. That became very clear from the first conversation. She's ready to jump back in and get after it. And she has a real passion for developing young people, especially elite players. One of the things that stood out to me as we were reviewing all the statistics and data, she's one of only 3 coaches all time to produce 4 straight first-round picks. She knows what it takes to win at the highest level with the highest level of talented players. And most importantly to me is she sees the opportunity at Mizzou. From the very beginning, Coach Harper made it clear that she wanted this job. There were other jobs that were coming open, but she wanted to be here. And she saw the opportunity to be here and be successful here. I'm already incredibly confident that she's going to also fit amazingly well with the people and culture of Mid-Missouri. I'm just excited to support her and watch her as she grows and builds a program that competes for championships. So with that, please help me welcome Coach Harper and her family to the Mizzou family.
Thank you so much. First off, before I thank anybody, I'm going to say y'all. That's just what I do. Thank y'all for being here. This is amazing. I love to see the passion here for not only this university, for this women's basketball program. Laird, thank you. President Choi, Board of Curators. I appreciate the opportunity that you have given me to lead this program, and so excited about what is in store for us. Let me go off script real quick. Golden Girls, right? Yep, got it. Spirit cheer, we good right there? Yep. Truman, yep. Band. Listen, these people are so important. Give them a round of applause. Thank y'all for being here. That's a big deal. We appreciate you. I need to say a big thank you to my family. They are not here. I'm pro-education, so they are in school. So my husband, John, is back with our kids, Jackson and Kylie. I love you dearly. I cannot wait for you to get up here soon. But I can guarantee you they are supporting from afar. They make sacrifices to allow me to be here with you, and I love them dearly. You'll get to know them. I want to thank the assistant coaches, Coach Sullivan, Costas, and Coach Fruant for being here. Our program is blessed that you are part of this program, and I can't wait. This journey is going to be amazing. And then we're pro-education, so a lot of our players are in class right now, but thank you too for being here. I am thrilled to be your coach, and I can't wait for what we are going to be able to do together. This past year, as most of you know, I was not coaching. I did have an opportunity to do some work with the SEC network. I loved it. I thought it was great work. But at the end of the day, I'm a basketball coach. And I knew that I needed to be back on the sidelines. It was a way for me to stay involved in SEC basketball in particular, and to put a coaching lens on the game. But it's not the same. I want to be there in the gym one-on-one with our players because that's a big piece of who I am. I know that there are still players out there that I can have a positive impact on. And I knew if I had the right opportunity, then I wanted to get back into coaching and I wanted to be able to make that impact. And when Missouri called, I knew really, really quickly that this was the perfect fit for me. I am honored to have the passion for this program that I have to be able to lead this program. This place is very special, right? And when you talk about a place being special, it's because of the people. When you surround yourself with great people, you can do amazing things. I've had the opportunity to coach 4 different programs to the NCAA tournament. I've coached multiple teams in Sweet 16 appearances, so I know what it takes to be elite. I know the challenges that you have to be successful at this level. It takes everyone. So if you're here, you're everyone. It takes all of us pulling together in the right direction, in the same direction, to be successful and to be elite. That's coaches, players, support staff, fans, band. I mean, you got to be on it, right? We got to be loud at the appropriate times. We have to pull together as one to be successful. Women's basketball is really having a moment right now. There's a lot of upward trends for women's basketball, and we want to be a part of that. We want there to be an excitement and a buzz about our program and what we're doing. So when you see our team, we're going to compete with great enthusiasm, great love, great passion. And fans, we want you to love this team because you know what? We're going to give you everything that we have. I need to say a couple more quick thank yous. Marcy, Tammy, Alyssa, Eric, thank you for helping me get settled in. You guys have been amazing, and I'm very appreciative. I also need to say a quick thank you to my mom. She's not here. She's home watching. She has unwavering support and love, so thank you, Mom. I want you guys to know I look forward to what lies ahead. And I look forward to the process. And I don't take any day for granted. Every single day we're going to get up and it's going to be just one more step in the journey that we are about to take together. And I get to do it with some really great people. And like I said earlier, if you're pulling together and you're working hard and you're doing it with great people, amazing things can happen. M-I-Z.
Thank you, Coach Harper. You got it right that time. Very good. Very good. All right, before we transition into the press conference, I want to invite all of our speakers over to my right for a quick photo, if you don't mind standing. Will, take the photo here.
Stand up.
Please.
Okay. You want that jersey?
Yes.
Be great.
Of course. All right, now everybody's favorite part. We're going to get started with the formal press conference. For our media friends, please raise your hand and address your question to one of our 4 speakers up here. Jessica is in the audience with a wireless microphone. Please share your name and media affiliation so Coach Harper can begin matching some names and faces out here.
Hi, Natalie Jones with ABC 17 here in Columbia. Welcome to Columbia. You mentioned that you knew Mizzou was the right place for you pretty quickly because of the people, but what about the potential of this program really spoke to you and kind of the history of this program as well?
Thank you. Yes, I think, I knew right off that it was the right fit. And I just felt like the type of players that we're going to be able to recruit, we're going to get them here. And we're going to be successful with them. And I think we've got a great core returning and thrilled to work with them as well. every box kept getting checked for me. And I told Laird this, and I've told a lot of people when people talk to me, ask me about it. I'm just so happy. I feel like I'm walking around and like I'm just cheesing, you know, because I just feel really good about what I know we're going to be able to do here. And sometimes it's hard to put into words. When you know it's right, it's just right.
Joey Van Zummeren with Missouri NSI. Kellie, welcome to Columbia. Just wondering, as far as player development, when it comes to that, how do you read your roster early on individually, see what kind of where they need to grow, what approach works with them, and then when you have as many players as you have enter the NBA, have success in their career, just what does that mean to you as a coach?
Yeah, thank you. I think first off, when you're talking about player development, I think it's important that it's there's a lot of communication, that you're working together. Because if I think you need to do something as a player and you're not on the same page with me, are we going to get there? So we have to work together to really develop a plan for your development and your success. I'm very familiar with this team. I've obviously played against this team for several years, and then obviously was able to watch this team throughout the season. So I feel like I've got a pretty good handle of who they are, but I'm really excited about sitting down with each player and discussing, hey, where do you want to go? Here's where I want you to go, and let's find that sweet spot, and here's how we're going to get there. My staff is incredible at player development. So we're going to have a holistic plan, strength, nutrition, just everything to help them be their best. And yes, we've had the opportunity to coach some extremely talented players that are now playing in the WNBA, and are not just playing, they're having a lot of success there. And so it's very rewarding as a coach when you get to see players realize their dreams. And you know, that's what you want as a coach. You want that relationship to be able to look at them and just be happy. They're your family. They're your family, and I'm looking forward to that same relationship with these young ladies.
Hi, Coach. Killian Wright with the Maneater. What are some defining pillars you're looking to build this team by, both on and off the court, stylistically?
So I think for us, I think there's a couple things. One of the things that I've always felt like we've done a good job of is taking advantage of our strengths as a team on the court. What are we good at, and let's do it. It's a little bit hard to define that right now because we're still building our roster, but that is overall kind of how we want to do things. We're going to be tough. We're going to enjoy the process. They better like it every day they walk in here. They better feel good about it, because they can walk right out if they don't. I love what I do, and they're not going to ruin it for me. They already told them that, so they're fine. I love it, right? And we eat up with it as coaches, so they need to be also. I think I want our fans to see the passion that our players will have. I think that will come through with how we play.
Hi, Coach. Dylan Heinrich with Rock M Nation here. You touched on building this roster. What does that look like for you from a recruiting perspective, both in the portal and then dealing with high school students?
Yeah, so we have a good core of returners that we have. That is our number one priority, are our returning players, and they're really making up the core, the foundation, and I'm super excited about who we have here. And then we know we've got to address some needs on the court. We're going to do that in the transfer portal. We have one young lady signed with the program out of high school. So we're really excited about who we think we can bring in terms of talent, and like I said, be able to address some of those needs. They're going to be great people, great teammates, and hopefully elite competitors as well.
Hey, Coach. Quentin Corpuel with Rock M Nation. Welcome to Columbia. With your experience at several different schools at multiple different levels, from mid-majors to power conference teams. What have you learned about what it takes to build a roster of mostly new players and get them to coalesce very quickly?
Yeah, I think building rosters has changed throughout the years. I've coached a very long time now, and I think you have to adjust with the times, and obviously now with the transfer portal being such a big piece of athletics, you have to learn how not to just manage the portal, but then how are we going to manage our team? How are we going to work together? I think the biggest thing, if we all have a common goal and we all put the team first, then we're all pulling in that direction. And when you can get everyone pulling in the same direction, that's where you want to be. That's your sweet spot. But I think you have to do your research in the recruiting process. Your vision has to align with these players, and they need to want to be here as much as we want to be here.
Eli Hoff from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Question for Coach. You mentioned you're a year away from coaching and doing some TV work. Just, where do you feel like your coaching approach has maybe evolved with that year away?
Yeah, it's been interesting to really reflect, have some self-reflection this past year. It reminded me what I do love about coaching, and it's one of the things that I miss more than anything, well, two things. The interactions with the players and interactions with my staff. Like, I love people. I love fighting for something. I love teaching someone how to do something and seeing them go and do it. I love challenging a group and watching them figure it out. I love the puzzle that we have to figure out as a staff. I love that. I missed it. The pace in athletics is, it's crazy. We all know that. So I think I missed a little bit of that as well. I enjoyed my time off, but there's just so much about it that I missed. And I was able to look back and really have probably a different perspective on what's important. And I think that's one reason I'm so fired up about being at Missouri.
Hi, Natalie with ABC 17 again. Obviously you made 3 hires on your coaching staff. What was important to you about bringing in, some familiar faces, people that know your system, and what's been your philosophy on, the people you surround yourself with?
Yeah. So I played at the University of Tennessee for Pat Summitt. Most people that follow women's basketball know that. And one of the things that she always said was, surround yourself with good people. She was a great speaker. That was her signature line, I felt like. And it is so true. It is so true. You can be so much more successful when you're around people that are going to elevate you, and that's what this staff does. One, I trust them completely. 2, they are really, really good, really good at what they do, and they're not one-dimensional. They are all very good on the court. They're all very good in the office, and they're very good recruiters. And so it was a no-brainer. Y'all, I hit a grand slam with my staff, and that's who I wanted. Those 3 sitting right there, that's who I wanted with me for this journey.
Hi, Kelly. This is Kevin Utz with the Columbia Missourian. You mentioned your work on the SEC network. You saw Mizzou play in the women's tournament. What did you see from that game against Ole Miss?
Oh, Mississippi State.
Was it
Mississippi State?
Yeah, Mississippi State, sorry.
Yeah. You were trying to get me. I see how you do.
Yeah.
I was about to start in an answer, and it was not going to be right. We had a really good, strong first half. Right? We just weren't able to play for 40 whole minutes. And so I think, details matter. Let me tell you, I was impressed with the toughness and the fight that this team had all season long. We talked about this. There were some heartbreaking losses that could have gut punched a team so much that they quit, and they didn't quit. And that gave me a really good understanding of the type of character that we have on this team. So I can give you a scouting report, but I think that's the most important thing out of it.
Hey, Coach Quinton with Rock M Nation. You mentioned obviously playing under Pat and the lesson you learned from her. What are some other lessons that you learned from her that you have tried to apply to your coaching career since playing for her?
Yeah, two things. One, she was always very classy. So when you walk in our office, I want it to look the part. If we want to be elite, everything we need to do needs to be elite. I think the other thing, she was always very poised as a coach. And even as a young coach, I had my first head coaching job at the age of 26. And as a young coach, I always felt like my team needed that from me. And so I try to give that to them, right? Even in a dire situation, in a timeout late, I want to be the coach that's giving them the confidence that they need to go out and complete the mission. And I felt like I was able to observe and learn that from her.
Kellie, could you just talk about with the moment that the sport is having right now, how great is that for you who kind of paved the way for this generation a little bit with that?
Does that mean I'm older? You guys are great. All right. So I think you're seeing so much excitement around our sport right now. And rightly so. I think you see some great basketball being played. And I think it means a lot to me because obviously it's my sport. Obviously I was a part of it, but there were so many people, even for me, that came before me that gave me an opportunity. And I think that's what we're looking for, right? Just an opportunity to showcase what we can do. And that's really special. But this is a great time to really take advantage and grab hold of this trend of these are some really good basketball players, and it's an elite sport, especially in the SEC. So I think it couldn't be a better time to be a women's basketball player.
Okay, that wraps up this portion of the press conference. Laird and Coach Harper will be available for a breakout session over on the backdrop there underneath the scoreboard once we're done here. Thank you all for attending. Please join us for a reception in the Clinton Club immediately following this event up on the club level. Thank you. This has been an amazing crowd. MIZ.
COU.